everyone. I'm Lane Adams, and welcome to our class on freedom from fear. I felt like in the month of February, it would be good to just have a little discussion about how to take care of our heart and our mind as we sometimes struggle with fear. It might be fear about your health and wellness. It might be fear about your future. It could just be fear about you're not sure what, but it's just this ongoing sense of something is just not right. And that can cause some issues with our health and wellness. So tonight we are going to be talking about how to use our essential oils and healthy habits and some lifestyle tips on just addressing this feeling of fear, because we don't want to be stuck or live in a negative emotion like that. So we're going to be talking about that tonight. And if you're already using doTERRA essential oils, then you'll have on hand some of the oils I'm talking about. And if you don't, you can get them. And if you don't already have a doTERRA essential oil account, you can just let me know and I can help you. So, or the person that invited you to this video as well, they can help you as well. So, freedom over fear. Let's talk about what fear can do to our bodies. Long term, if you're living under a constant threat, it can have some serious health consequences. So here's the impact on our physical health. It can weaken our immune system and cause even cardiovascular damage. Fear can add to gut issues, and long term, that can cause a lot of problems and discomfort. And it can even lead to accelerated aging. And that is not something any of us want to do, is accelerate our aging. Long-term fear, living with that, can cause some problems with memory. Fear can impair the formation of long-term memories and cause damage to certain parts of the brain, such as the hippocampus. And this can even make it more difficult to regulate fear, and it can leave a person anxious most of the time. So someone in chronic or long-term fear, to them, the world looks very scary, and their memories confirm that. So they kind of get into this habit of repressing memories, which would look like, difficulty remembering things. Another area that long-term fear can impact in a negative way is your brain processing and reactivity. So even learning can be impaired, slowed down, and emotional reactions can be heightened or even maybe flattened. So like maybe you're not feeling joy, those sorts of things, or you're reacting in a panicked state very quickly because you're living in this long-term kind of fear state. Fear can interrupt the processes in our brains that allow us to regulate our emotions. Fear can interrupt our ability to read nonverbal cues, and this can impact your relationships with people and family and friends and loved ones. It also can impair our ability to reflect before we react. And then sometimes people will make poor decisions when they are living in a state of fear. So we've seen a lot of this in the last few years, and this is something I feel like we need to kind of really notice in ourselves. And if there's someone you love that struggles with this, maybe you can help them work through this, and because it's not a healthy state to live in. And then finally, long-term fear and stress can cause mental health issues, and you or someone you know and love may need to seek professional help or care if this is the situation. But even if you're getting professional help for something like this, you can still practice healthy daily lifestyle habits that are going to be more nurturing to your mental health. So, and that can help address these issues of living in fear. So whether the threats to our safety or security are real or perceived, it can impact our mental and physical well-being. So you might say, I don't really feel fear. I'm not a fearful person. or someone might tell you that. But some other words for fear you can see them spinning around on the screen. Things like intimidated, alarmed, anxious, dread, panicked, even maybe ones that aren't quite so alarming, like timid or uneasy or nervous. So even if you don't necessarily would use the word fear for maybe some emotions that are causing your stress levels to increase, maybe there's another word, and your body doesn't know all these other things. It's just like, it's going to react in a particular way. And so there's like fear and there's excitement, and they're very similar in how our body reacts, but over long term, it can really cause some issues with our health. So just think about some other words you might use for fear, or people that you know when you hear them talking, maybe overwhelmed, because people get stuck when they're fearful and overwhelmed and anxious and all of that. The definition of fear, it's a negative emotion characterized by a feeling of anxiety or dread in response to a perceived threat or unknown situation. We may be scared because of past experiences, cultural beliefs, or biological factors. So even things that are happening with our health and wellness, it can cause fear, and our minds can really go crazy with that. Fear can increase our heart rate, cause us to sweat, and bring on a sense of panic. Persistent fear can lead to avoidance behaviors, lower self-esteem, and diminished overall quality of life. So you can see this as in little children as well. Like when they are fearful, they shrink back. They don't show up. They don't step out into maybe trying things, taking safe risks. Sometimes we have to take risks, and as long as they're not unreasonable, it may not feel safe, but as long as it's not unreasonable, we have to step out of that comfort zone and not live in fear and get stuck in that, because a lot of times then you find yourself isolated. Facing fears and practicing relaxation techniques and seeking support from others can help us overcome fear. Let's look at how our body system is affected, and we're going to talk about how our essential oils can support the body in many ways, but specifically addressing this issue of fear. We want freedom from fear. The nervous system is impacted by fear. The body releases stress hormones in response to fear that activates the sympathetic nervous system. This is the system that heightens your body. It heightens what you're doing. It leads to increased heart rate and rapid breathing and sweating. The respiratory system is also impacted. Fear can cause rapid breathing and shortness of breath and even hyperventilation in some people. These responses are part of the body's natural response and are designed to provide the body with oxygen that it needs to respond to a perceived threat. But this is not a state we want to live in all the time. So our essential oils can be very supportive for emotional support. And let's look at a few ways how they are. One is aromatherapy. So just opening your bottle of essential oil, breathing it in, putting a drop in your hands, rubbing your hands together and breathing it in is a great way to address your emotions. You can diffuse, you can put it on diffuser jewelry, or even just after rubbing it in your hands, you can run it through your hair. So it's kind of just right here. So you can be breathing it in. When you're doing that, you'll find that essential oils can evoke emotional states and promote relaxation, calmness, or even uplifting feelings in the body. Essential oils interact with the olfactory system, which is linked to the limbic system in the brain. And this is responsible, the area in the brain that's responsible for processing emotions and memories. So this is a real thing. You can breathe it in and there's going to be a change. It's going in through the olfactory system into the brain, where we have neurotransmitters that send signals throughout our body. So aromatherapy is very powerful. There's also the mind and body connection. The mind and body are interconnected. Our emotional well-being can have a direct impact on our physical health. Essential oils, along with those other techniques that we talked about, and things like deep breathing, meditation, mindfulness, grounding, even gentle yoga or just stretching, can help create a sense of relaxation and balance and help you address those feelings that are heightening your emotions and the activities in your body that maybe are on overload, and you need to bring them down a bit. Promoting a calm and centered state of mind, essential oils directly and indirectly support emotional well-being. Then there's personal association. Some people have personal associations with particular aromas. And if they are pleasant, that's going to help your mind, mood, and emotion. Our sense of smell is deeply connected to memories and emotions. And by using essential oils with positive personal associations, individuals can experience a positive impact on their emotional state. So finding the essential oils that bring positive memories or emotions is really wonderful. An example of that on the other side was before, when I was in high school, I ran track and field, and I really loved it. I loved the sport. I helped coach when I got older, and I loved the sport. However, I would always get a little nervous on track day, and we would be out on the field stretching, and just before you're getting ready to race. And so when we'd be at a track meet, and so now when I smell fresh cut grass, it reminds me of track season, and there's just this little sense of anxiousness. It's nothing like living in fear, but I feel it in my body, even still, with that aroma of freshly cut grass. So that's an example of how our body can respond with memories to aroma. So find something that's calming, makes you feel safe, and thinking about those things and finding those oils and using them at times of need is really important. Finally, the chemical properties of oils is amazing. The chemical compounds in oils is just what makes them so versatile and can be used for so many things. doTERRA essential oils often can be used all three ways: aromatically, topically, and internally. If an oil is indicated to be used internally with doTERRA, you're going to find a supplement fact box on the label of the bottle. So if it does not have a supplement fact box, then it's not an oil that was indicated to be used internally, and you're going to use it topically or aromatically. All three ways are great ways to use essential oils and get them into your body and helping in through your system to support your wellness and your emotional state. Essential oils contain natural compounds that have various physiological effects on the body. Floral oils help calm and soothe. Citrus oils are uplifting and help open the kind of focusing and cleansing as well. And then tree oils are very calming and grounding. Those are just some examples. The chemical constituents of essential oils can interact with the body's biochemistry and influence emotions. So let's talk about when you're in a state of fear. First, you want to recognize it. You don't want to repress it. So some of the oils that are and blends that are recommended are coming from the Oil Magic book, the Oil Magic Emotions book. And that's where I got this information. So much great information in that book, Oil Magic Emotions. If you want to first start with processing where you are and accepting kind of where you are with your emotions, you're going to first start with Immortelle. Immortelle is in a roller bottle, which means it's not indicated to be used internally. Although a lot of the oils in it you can use internally. It has rose and frankincense and helichrysum and sandalwood. It's just an amazing blend of oils. And those are just a few of them. It's quite a strong blend. When I purchase Immortelle, I always pour half of it into another bottle and I fill the rest with coconut oil. So I make 2 bottles out of 1. But you're going to get your Immortelle, you're going to roll it behind your ears, over your throat and heart, and choose to release any blame and don't judge yourself for feeling the way you feel. Just roll it behind your ears, over your throat and heart, and just kind of rest in, like, starting to identify and kind of figure out, where is this fear coming from? What exactly am I afraid of? What exactly is this anxious feeling? And maybe just start journaling and that sort of thing. Then you're going to use guaiaca wood, which is an oil that we have now in our available, and it is from a tree. It is this amazing, powerful tree, and it's a beautiful tree. This is because it's a tree oil. It's very grounding and calming. You're going to apply this to the abdominal area, so just a drop or two. It's very viscous is what they call it. It's you don't really have to use coconut oil with it, but if you want to, you can. It's very thick, and you can just kind of rub it on your hand. And actually, this does have a little bit of coconut oil in the bottle because it's so thick. Without it, it will harden, actually. So this one, you're going to apply to the abdominal area, the back of the neck, and behind the ears. You're going to inhale it deeply from cupped hands like this, and it's going to help you identify any fear that you have building up. So that's what the guaca wood is going to do. Once you've done that, you can then say, I'm ready to move on. I'm going to progress up the scale away from this low energy emotion of fear, and I'm going to progress up the scale. The first blend that they recommended in the Essential Oil Emotions book is from our yoga collection, and there are 3 oils in there, but this blend is called Anchor, and this one smells amazing, and it does exactly what it says. It helps anchor you and get you out of your head where your mind is just racing and going everywhere. With Anchor, you're going to inhale the aroma and rub 2 to 3 drops on your heart and the soles of your feet. You're going to let self-doubt and negativity drain from you, and you're going to invite feelings of worth and strength. So be sure and use that Anchor. It's an amazing blend. Then next is laurel leaf. Laurel leaf is a single oil that we cannot purchase on our own, but every now and again, it comes as a special. Oh, smells amazing. And this one is also in our Breathe blend. So if you don't have laurel leaf in your stash, go find your Breathe. This is one of the oils in Breathe blend. And that's what I love about the blends is you can, if you don't have an oil, if it's in a blend, you're still getting the use of it. So you're going to put 2 drops of laurel leaf into your palm. I'm doing this one because I just love this. And you're going to rub them together. You're going to cup your hands and hold close to your nose and inhale deeply. And it's powerful. And this says to inhale until you notice a change to your emotions and you feel lighter and brighter. I love that. So you're expecting that. You're going to come out of that fear. You're not going to be stuck in it. So as you do these things, there's some other practices you can engage in for support and self-care. These are journaling, helping you identify and what you're experiencing and maybe help you get clear about what it is you're really feeling. Then self-reflection, choose to see yourself through new eyes and picture yourself not afraid. So what would it be like if you just let go of that emotion and like dropped that belief that something is scary or makes you feel fearful? So kind of just reflect on that and try to imagine situations where you feel valuable and empowered. Then community, so important, connecting with others, gathering with people who are having these conversations, and courage is contagious. So find people who are stepping out and are living life and not shrinking back in fear. And then finally, affirmations, finding positive things to say, not saying negative things about yourself, how you're feeling, or about the world. We don't need to speak negativity into the world. There's enough of it out there, and it only causes fear and angst in people's lives. So let's focus on positive outcomes and possibilities. And we can say, I am going to take action with courage and confidence. And we're going to use our oils and our practices to do that. Finally, there is a suggested protocol in the Essential Emotions book. Once you've gone through some of this, they recommend doing this protocol for 2 to 3 weeks and then just repeat it anytime throughout the year when you're feeling afraid. You're going to use the oils that you see in front of you. Rosemary is the first one. You're going to deeply inhale the aroma of rosemary and rub 2 drops on the back of your neck and heart. So get out your rosemary and breathe it in, rub 2 drops on the back of your neck and over your heart. You're going to diffuse 4 drops of peppermint, you're going to get your stronger roller. This is in the kids collection. So if you don't have it, you might want to look for it. It does have linseed in it, and linseed is an amazing oil that we don't get very often, but it's very powerful. And I'm thinking that might be why they have us using stronger. But stronger, you're going to get this and roll it on the back of your neck, behind your ears, and on the throat and heart. Then citronella, this one surprised me. However, citronella repels negative energy, so kind of makes sense. You're going to diffuse 4 drops of citronella and rub 2 drops onto the soles of your feet. Finally, Brave. Brave essential oil is in a roller bottle as well, and this one comes in the kids collection, just like Stronger. But Brave is really great for when you're approaching situations that you're uneasy about because it's unknown and there's change involved. So Brave helps with those kinds of situations, even specifically a little different than Stronger, just going in knowing that you're empowered and strong. Brave helps with that anticipation of change. And sometimes that causes people to be fearful and to be stuck. Then finally, additional support would include our adaptive line. We have adaptive in capsules, which helps attenuate or turn down the body's physiological response to stress. So adaptive capsules are great if you're just feeling like your brain is some of those other words, not just fear, but anxious, feeling intimidated, you can't focus, uneasy. Adaptive capsules, amazing. There's also an adaptive blend that is not for internal use. It is for diffusing or using topically. And another one that is great is copaiba. This is a great oil for, you can use it all 3 ways, aromatically, internally, and topically. You can breathe it in, rub it over your heart and chest, throat, and you can also put 2 drops under your tongue. And copaiba is very calming and grounding for the mind and helps you kind of soothe those anxious feelings. Some other options are our lifelong vitality to support your nutrition and your brain function and your memory, super important. And we also have a blend called Peace, and that is something great to use. I love the names like Stronger, Brave, Peace. When you're feeling fear, why not grab an oil that has a word that is going to empower you and help you feel encouraged? And then remember, I talked about how there's some emotions that are paired with memories that might help you feel nurtured and less fearful. Well, vanilla is one of the essential oils. The Madagascar vanilla that doTERRA has is very warming and calming and nurturing. And for many people, it brings back a sense of feeling safe. So I encourage you to try some of those oils. So finally, in the Bible, there are apparently 365 references to fear not. So it might say, be not afraid, or be strong and courageous, have no fear, fear not. And that means every day, there's one for every day to just really notice when you're feeling this and say, this is not what God intended us to be, to live in fear. So fear not is such a great thing to remember. And for me, I love learning and I love finding out information and sharing it with others and connecting with others in that way. So don't be scared, be prepared. You have the tools, you have the community and the resources when you're feeling like it's too much for you. Reach out to people who will walk alongside you and encourage you. And then also don't forget, use your essential oils and take care of yourself and nurture yourself. So then you can live life free from fear. Don't be scared, be prepared.